Hey everybody, and Tony here with a review of Johann Sebastian Bach's Matthäus Passion with conductor Jan Sören Felster, along with the Camerata Wannsee Orchester auf historischen Instrumenten and the Bach Chor and Kinderchor Dahlem, which I saw at the Jesus Christus Kirche. The main soloists were soprano Viola Wimka, contralto Wiebke Lehmkuhl, tenor Georg Poplutz, bass baritone Jonathan de la Paz Thaens, and baritone Daniel Woodling. I mainly heard about the Matthäus Passion through the contralto aria Erbarme dich and through the many choral numbers, as I was mostly familiar with Bach's other passion, the St. Johannes Passion, which I heard about 2 times, once in the live stream by the Berliner Philharmonie, and the other time which I saw it back when I was in Budapest. And this oratorio was based on the Gospel of Matthew, chapters 26 to 27, as it mainly chronicles the Last Supper, the crucifixion, and the eventual death of Jesus Christ. With that brief piece of information out of the way, what did I think of the singers? Well, in general, I thought that they were absolutely wonderful and very professional in their craft. Starting off with soprano Viola Wimka. She has a very pleasing timbre, and it's just so silvery throughout all the registers, and her voice is very pleasing to listen to. It has that really lovely and silvery timbre. It's very well focused. It's not one of those super high singing sopranos, but it has a very lovely timbre. She has a very lovely presence, and she just managed to shine all throughout the evening thanks to her charm, thanks to that lovely timbre in her light lyric soprano voice, and she's just absolutely fine all around. She has a very pleasant approach to how she sang her arias, and she sang them with clarity, beauty, and a great sense of musicianship. Wiebke Lehmkuhl was a gorgeous, full-bodied, and wonderful mezzo-contralto, as I also heard her on a couple of radio transmissions from the Bayreuther Festspielhaus singing the roles of Flosshilde and one of the Valkyries from Rheingold and Götterdämmerung and even Valkyrie respectively. I love the timbre of her voice. To me, it sounds like a well-tuned cello, as she managed to sing all of her notes with such clarity and beauty, and she has great focus on all the notes she sang. And I also love her rendition of Erbarme dich, which she sang with beauty and pathos, but at the same time, she showed great professionalism, great musicianship, and she was just an overall wonderful musician all around. And I would really love to see a lot more of this wonderful young contralto, because she has a very wonderful future ahead of her. And from what I can tell, she can tackle on the bigger roles like Maddalena from Rigoletto, and maybe stuff like Ulrica from Un ballo in Maschera, and probably Mistress Quickly from Falstaff. Only time will tell. But for now, this is a mezzo-contralto who has a very great future thanks to her full-bodied tone and thanks to her absolutely gorgeous and quite imposing stage presence. Georg Poplutz was a wonderfully musical tenor. To my ears, he sounds a little bit like Peter Schreier and Fritz Wunderlich, thanks to that very lyrical tone that he has in his voice. And seeing that he specializes mostly in lieder and oratorio, one can tell that his voice is really well focused, and it has that nice and light timbre that is quite ideal for material like this. And not to mention, his stage presence was quite handsome, but more than anything, his vocal assets were really spot on. He sang all of his notes really, really well, and he just had great musicianship. He managed to tackle all of the legato and staccato lines really, really well, and he was able to negotiate the coloratura in such a fine way. This is a singer I would really love to hear a lot more in the near future, because he has a very pleasing timbre and he has excellent musicianship. What more can I say about Jonathan de la Paz Thaens? He's a very, very charismatic musician thanks to his warm, full-bodied, and excellent sounding bass baritone voice. This is a singer whose career I have been following for quite some time, and he is an absolute professional. He manages to make Jesus Christ a very dignified, humble, and quite a powerful figure. And at the same time, he manages to make him quite a loving figure thanks to his warm-bodied, full-toned bass baritone voice. He managed to give a lot of grace, and he had a very fine stature, both vocally and theatrically. He was quite tall and graceful on stage, and more than anything, his musicianship was very spot on. There was not one vocal flaw I could find, and he was just absolutely fabulous all around. Then we go to Daniel Woodling, who was an equally superb baritone. I really love the color of his voice. It's light and breezy, but at the same time, it has a little bit of body found in his voice. He managed to sing his arias really, really well, and he had very fine musicianship. I really loved how he was able to navigate through all of his notes, and he just had a very fine and noble air to add to his particular stage presence. So overall, the singing found in the main soloists was excellent, and I also have to give loads of kudos to the assistant singers, most notably Maria Deli Nestman, who sang The First Maid, Karsten Brausen, who sang One of the Witnesses, Manuel Nikat, who sang the quadruple roles of Judas, Petrus, the High Priest, and Pontius Pilatus, and of course, the fine and really awesome Dietrich Plückhan, whose tall stage presence just managed to be so enthralling, and his warm-toned, full-bodied, and simply put, plush bass baritone voice was an absolute standout. So what more can I say about the singing? Whether it be from the main singers all the way up to the supporting players, everyone did magnificently, and the conducting done by Jan Sören Förster was excellent. He paid close attention to the text, making sure that the singers, the orchestra, and the chorus went together in such a way that was full of harmony and grace. And speaking of the chorus and orchestra, they were absolutely wonderful as well. With the Camerata Vanze, I can definitely tell that everyone who participated in the orchestra went together flawlessly. There was not one sour note to be found, and they played their notes in such a masterful manner. And the chorus, mainly the Bach Chor and the Kinderchor Dahlem, managed to be excellent in everything they've done. And they were an excellent source of support throughout the evening. They helped the singers, they helped the orchestra, but more than anything, they stood on their own 2 feet and they just sang the absolute hell out of their lines. So overall, this was definitely a very fine evening for watching an oratorio, with great singing from all of the main singers up to the supporting players and even to the chorus, and great musicianship found in the Camerata Vanze along with Jan Sören Förster's superb conducting hand. I have to say that this particular rendition of Johann Sebastian Bach's Matthäus Passion was absolutely wonderful. And for those of you who saw this particular oratorio, what did you think of it? Was there a singer who stood out to you so much? Did you feel that everyone went together, whether it be the chorus and the orchestra? Or did you feel that it didn't really hold up to your particular standards? Comment below and let me know, and they'll be also playing again tomorrow, so please do not miss it. You will not regret the experience after you've watched this particular oratorio, especially when you have superb soloists like Fiola-Winka, Wiet Gleemkool, Georg Poplutz, Jonathan de la Paz, and Daniel Woodling, and especially if you have a great conductor like Jan Søren Felster. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for my review of the Wagner Gala at the Staatsoper am Theater, starring Anne Schwanewims, Camilla Nielund, Waltraud Meyer, Wolfgang Koch, René Pape, and Burkhard Fritz. The singers I am really excited to look forward to, especially the great Waltraud Meyer. So until then, have a great evening, everybody, and I hope to see you tomorrow.